Yeah, I'm extremely excited and enthusiastic to be working with the next generation of golfers with FirstPoint USA. Global leader, obviously, in US sports scholarships and placements. So the opportunity to work with Andrew and the team was something that was extremely appealing to me. They've already got a strong reputation in golf through players that have already been out to America, such as Danny Willett, Callum McCauley, and Russell Knox. And then for me, it's finding those next players to head out to the US. Being based in Scotland was obviously really appealing, and the opportunity to work with aspiring golfers all over the world was something that I really look forward to doing as well. As part of my kind of previous roles, working with talented golfers, I think one of the key things is building relationships between players, parents and coaches, and that's certainly something that I've had a lot of experience in the last 20 years. So I think similar to coaching, I think that's one of the key aspects that I'll be looking at now that I'm in the role here. And obviously, FirstPoint are extremely ambitious. That was one of the things when I spoke to Andrew that really kind of swayed me. Looking at the investment in rugby, obviously appointing Sean Lamont as a director of rugby, fastest growing college sport in the US. So it does show that they're very serious about what they do. I think for me as a proud Scotsman, it was always an honour and a privilege to work with both Scotland teams and individuals over the past 20 years. There's been a number of great players that have come through the system, through Scottish golf. Current players, someone like Cameron Adam, who's now playing on the DP World Tour, Callum Scott, who's out in PGA of America, and then guys like Connor Graham, who's currently at Texas Tech and the youngest player in the Walker Cup. For me, a personal coach as well, when I was working for Scottish Golf with GB&I International last year, Ollie Blackadder, who's since gone to East Tennessee University out in America. And then one particularly pleasing one is Rory Franson, who I was a personal coach to for 16 years, who just got his first win on the Hotel Planner Tour this weekend out in Estonia, which was absolutely brilliant to see. Being a small part of that journey with those players has been kind of massively important for me, and something I take kind of great pride in. As I said, being a Scotsman. Team-wise, last year Scotland finished tied 7th in the World Amateur Team Championship in Singapore, which was our best finish since 2008, where Scotland actually won it, and I was fortunate enough to be out there with Callum McCauley and Wallace Booth and Gavin Deere, who had also spent time at college out in the States. So yeah, seeing players succeed over the last number of years with the right support and the right investment has again been kind of really satisfying for me personally. It's pretty simple, giving them opportunities to train and get correct coaching, to play at the right level of tournaments has definitely helped them along their way. Yeah, I think I worked out abroad for nearly 5 years after finishing with Scottish Golf the first time, and I think one of the things that it definitely helped you do was understand the difference in cultures as well, and in terms of golf, how it wasn't a one size fits all. So I've managed over probably I suppose the last number of years to build up a really good network of coaches and players in Turkey that I still stay in touch with. I'm really friendly with the people that kind of now run Turkish Golf Federation. So I think that's been massively important, and yeah, good network of coaches throughout Europe at all the and throughout the world at all the different events that I've managed to attend. So yeah, it's great to be working with, or great seeing players from these so-called developing golf nations, and I think they deserve the opportunity to fulfill their ambitions of potentially, going out to the US and then future professionally. And there's no doubt it's a life changing opportunity to go out and play the sport that you love, but also get a degree at the end of it as well. So I've seen many players that have gone over, have come back better players, kind of on the course, but also come back with a degree and far better life skills, spending 4 years embracing a different culture out in the US. One massive draw is undoubtedly the facilities out there, the golf courses that the guys get to play on, and that the players get to compete on. You get to play on all different kind of styles of courses, different grasses, different conditions, and I think it will help players become more developed, all-rounded players when they do go out and compete out in the US. You don't need, I can assure you don't need to be a superstar to go out there. There's obviously NCAA Division 1 where a lot of the top players go, but all the way down, all the way to NAIA. So I suppose it's finding the right fit for you, where you will go out there and compete over those 4 years, and to see where you still need to improve and develop. World Amateur Golf rankings show that it's the competition is extremely high, but I think it's a good place to go and cut your teeth. And then for a lot of players coming back to UK, but during the summer season, it lets them kind of get seamlessly into playing a competitive schedule back in UK and Europe. So a nice example would be Callum Bruce, who I was fortunate enough to work with, who went to a junior college, Midland, who went out there, broke all scoring records, won the Jack Nicklaus Award, ended up playing in a PGA Tour event, and then as a result then got recruited to go and play for San Diego State, which is where Xander Schauffele, the world number 10 is, and Callum, now 26, has now also got his South African Sunshine Tour card. I think a player that's come back definitely stronger is Cameron Adam, who went to Northwestern University in Chicago. Cammy went out as a kind of fresh-faced 17-year-old. He was a Scotland boys captain. He represented GB, and I, as a boy player, he played for Northwestern throughout, and as a result of kind of his performances, ended up in the top 20 in the world, and as a result of that, got through the global amateur pathway, is now on the DP World Tour and performing well there in his first year. I think probably the environment that he was in when he was out in America, again competing against really good players, helped him to seamlessly kind of move on to the DP Tour, that nothing was really a surprise from when he got out there due to his kind of time out playing in the US. I think the first thing to remember is that they don't expect players to be the finished article when they go out there. Still at kind of 17, 18 years old, you're still developing as a person and a golfer, and still trying to find out kind of a lot of the time what works best for you as well. I think coaches would be looking for someone who is showing that progression and trending in the right direction. Something that a coach would be looking at would be tournament scores, and making sure that they're playing in the appropriate level of tournament for the level that they're aspiring to when they do go out to US. For me personally, I think attitude, discipline, and a very kind of smart but hard work ethic would be something that any coach would be looking for in a player. And to be coachable, someone who is willing to listen to advice from, whether it's the coaches or the assistant coaches, but also being that individual that they know kind of what works best for them. I think for me, as always, a coach is looking for the right person to fit into that team. Although golf is an individual sport, I think it's massive that you, as a player, that the player fits into the culture and the dynamic of the team, and it'll definitely help them with their 4 years out in the US.